In the middle of Manhattan, rising above Fifth Avenue between 33rd and 34th Streets, stands one of the most recognizable buildings on Earth, the Empire State Building. It is 102 stories tall, with a roof height of 1,250 feet, and a total height of 1,454 feet when its antenna is included. But its importance is not only about measurement. This skyscraper became a shorthand for New York City itself, ambitious, vertical, crowded, glamorous, and relentless. For decades, when people imagined the American skyscraper, they pictured this tower. It was not merely built to provide office space. It was designed to win a race, dominate a skyline, and announce that even during a national crisis, New York could still build higher than anyone else. Before the Empire State Building existed, its site had a very different identity. The block on the west side of Fifth Avenue was home to the Waldorf Astoria Hotel, one of the great luxury hotels of late 19th century New York. Developed there in 1893, the hotel symbolized old wealth, high society, and a more horizontal era of Manhattan prestige. By the late 1920s, however, the city was changing fast. Land in Midtown was becoming too valuable for low-rise luxury alone, and skyscrapers were turning into commercial weapons. In 1929, Empire State Incorporated acquired the site and began planning a tower. The replacement of a grand hotel with an even grander office building captured a shift in New York's identity, from elite social capital to corporate vertical power. The building was designed by the architectural firm Shreve, Lamb and Harmon in the Art Deco style, the language of modernity in the 1920s and 1930s. Art Deco favored clean geometry, strong vertical lines, stylized ornament, and a sense of motion. On the Empire State Building, those ideas helped make the tower look as if it were surging upward. Its setbacks, required by New York zoning rules, narrowed the mass as it rose, allowing light to reach the streets while giving the tower its stepped silhouette. The design was practical, but it also produced drama. Instead of appearing bulky, the building seemed aerodynamic and disciplined, like a machine scaled up to the size of a city block. The design did not emerge fully formed. Plans for the Empire State Building were changed 15 times, largely because the goal was clear: it had to become the tallest building in the world. This was the age of the Manhattan height race, when developers competed to break records and capture headlines. The Chrysler Building had recently stunned the city with its gleaming spire, and other skyscrapers were also reaching upward. Height was more than vanity, it was advertising. A record-breaking tower could attract tenants, investors, visitors, and global attention. Every adjustment to the Empire State Building's plans was part of that contest. The final result was a skyscraper engineered not simply to stand, but to surpass. Construction began on March 17, 1930, and the speed that followed became almost as legendary as the height. The building opened on May 1, 1931, only 13.5 months later. That means one of the world's most famous skyscrapers was completed in roughly 410 days. Thousands of workers, including steelworkers, masons, electricians, and laborers, moved through a tightly organized industrial process. Steel rose floor by floor, materials arrived in carefully timed sequences, and the structure climbed at a pace that seemed impossible. The speed reflected both engineering discipline and economic urgency. In a city where time meant money, the Empire State Building became a demonstration of how modern construction could turn ambition into steel, stone, and glass at astonishing velocity. The timing, however, was brutal. The Empire State Building was planned during the roaring confidence of the late 1920s, but it opened in the depths of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, unemployment was high, and demand for premium office space collapsed. The tower received enormous publicity and admiration, but fame did not immediately translate into profit. Many offices remained difficult to lease, and the building was sometimes mocked with nicknames that suggested emptiness rather than success. World War II added further economic uncertainty. Although the Empire State Building looked like a triumph from the outside, its owners did not make a profit until the early 1950s. Its early story is a reminder that architectural icons can be financially risky before history decides they are priceless. For nearly 40 years, the Empire State Building held the title of the world's tallest building. From its completion in 1931 until the North Tower of the World Trade Center was topped out in 1970, it represented the upper limit of human construction. That record mattered because skyscrapers are public symbols as much as private real estate. To be tallest is to occupy a psychological position in the world's imagination. The tower was used constantly as a reference point, other structures were compared to it, distances were described through it, and its height became a kind of measuring stick for the modern age. Even after losing the record, the Empire State Building retained something more durable than height: instant recognizability. The building's rank in the skyline changed again after tragedy. When the World Trade Center was destroyed in the September 11 attacks in 2001, the Empire State Building once more became New York City's tallest building. That status lasted until 2012, when One World Trade Center surpassed it. These shifts show how skyscrapers become intertwined with civic memory. The Empire State Building had already lived through the Depression, World War II, post-war growth, and the rise of newer towers. After 2001, it took on renewed symbolic weight as an older survivor in a wounded skyline. As of 2025, it is no longer the tallest in New York, the United States, or the world, but its symbolic stature remains far larger than its numerical ranking. One reason the Empire State Building stayed famous is that ordinary people can experience it directly. Its observation decks became one of New York's essential tourist rituals. Around 4 million visitors from around the world come each year to see the city from the building's observatories. The 86th floor deck offers an open-air view across Manhattan, the rivers, the bridges, and the surrounding boroughs. The 102nd floor observatory provides an even higher perspective, turning the city into a dense pattern of streets, rooftops, and movement. In 2019, an additional indoor observatory opened on the 80th floor, expanding the visitor experience. The building is not just something people look at from below, it is a platform from which they learn to see New York. The Empire State Building also became a cultural icon because film and television made it part of global imagination. Its most famous early appearance came in King Kong in 1933, just 2 years after the tower opened. The image of the giant ape atop the skyscraper fused the building with spectacle, danger, romance, and myth. Since then, it has appeared in more than 250 television series and films. These appearances matter because movies turn architecture into emotion. The building can signal arrival in New York, a romantic meeting place, a disaster setting, a symbol of ambition, or a nostalgic memory of the city. Millions of people knew the Empire State Building on screen before they ever saw it in person. Its official recognition reflects that cultural power. The American Society of Civil Engineers named the Empire State Building one of the 7 wonders of the modern world, placing it among achievements that changed how people understood engineering possibility. In 2007, it ranked first on the American Institute of Architects list of America's favorite architecture, a sign that its appeal extended beyond specialists. Preservation authorities also moved to protect it. In 1980, the New York City Landmarks Preservation Commission designated both the building and its ground floor interior as city landmarks. In 1986, it was added to the National Register of Historic Places as a National Historic Landmark. These honors recognize not only height or age, but enduring public meaning. Today, the Empire State Building is surrounded by taller and newer skyscrapers, yet it remains one of the clearest symbols of New York City. Its power comes from a rare combination: an elegant Art Deco form, a record-breaking construction story, a dramatic Depression-era opening, world-famous observation decks, and a permanent role in film and popular culture. It began as a business gamble and a race for height, but it became something broader, a shared reference point for modern ambition. The tower proves that architecture can outgrow its original purpose. Offices may be leased, records may be broken, and skylines may change, but some buildings become part of how a city understands itself. The Empire State Building is one of them. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.